Good day to the people of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. I am Gideon Parks, and this is the Salem Chronicle with the latest reports from Salem Village, where mounting fear and accusations of witchcraft have unsettled the community. What began as a few afflictions among young girls has grown into a matter shaking our colony to its core. Earlier this morn, goodwife Rebecca Nurse, a long-respected and devout member of the village, was examined upon charges of practicing witchcraft. The peace of Salem stands troubled, and many wonder what these events shall lead to if the accusations continue to spread. We begin with a report from outside the meeting house, where today's examination took place.
Thank you, Gideon Parks. This is Abigail Pierce reporting. I stand before the Salem Meeting House, where a large gathering of townsfolk assembled to witness the examination of Rebecca Nurse. The atmosphere was tense. The group of afflicted girls fell into fits during the questioning, crying out that Goodwife Nurse's spectre tormented them. Gasps and whispers filled the room, as some believed these fits to be undeniable proof of witchcraft. Others looked on with disbelief, shaken at the thought that such a kind and gentle woman could be accused of such a grievous sin. I spoke with several villagers. One shared, "Goodwife Nurse hath ever been a woman of prayer and compassion. I cannot see her consorting with the devil." Yet another warned, "Satan may wear the face of the godly to deceive us all." These differing views are causing neighbours to question one another. Families that once broke bread together now seem wary and unsettled. What is clear, Gideon, is that Salem Village stands divided, fear and suspicion growing as each new accusation arises. Back to you at the desk. The peace of Salem stands troubled, and many wonder what these events shall lead to if the accusations continue to spread. We begin with a report from outside the meeting house, where today's examination took place.
Thank you. We are joined now by Reverend Cotton Mather, a man much consulted on matters of spiritual peril and the dangers of witchcraft. Reverend, thank you for joining us. First, what is your judgment of these proceedings at Salem?
God keep you, Master Parks. These are troubled and solemn times. I speak not lightly of such matters. Witchcraft is a real mischief, and the devil is ever at hand to tempt and corrode God's people. When we see the afflicted suffer in such strange ways, we must not presuppose a natural cause to the discount of the spiritual.
Some voices cry that the courts rely on what is called spectral evidence, that is, the afflicted seeing a specter or spirit. Critics say such testimony is frail and may be deceivable. How would you counsel the magistrates?
We must be cautious, never heedless. Evidence must be weighed with prayer and wisdom. Yet, we must also not be so slow as to allow the devil to go unpunished. Spectral appearances are troubling indeed, but accompanied by other signs and the suffering of the afflicted, they are not to be dismissed without due inquiry. The magistrates are tasked with the grave duty of preserving the commonwealth. I counsel them to move with both prudence and zeal.
Do you fear mistakes may be made?
I fear for the soul of the village, yes. I would that mercy and justice walk hand in hand. Yet if the devil makes use of falsehoods, his aim is to scatter and destroy. We must be vigilant in seeking truth and in seeking God's guidance above our own haste.
I now stand with Goodwife Rebecca Nurse, called before the magistrates this day, and released for a brief time ere further proceedings. Goodwife Nurse, how dost thou answer these charges that the afflicted children lay upon thee?
I answer with truth. I am innocent. All my life I have sought to serve God and my neighbors. I have tended the sick, helped the poor, and kept my prayers. I know not why these children do cry out against me. I am sorely troubled that fear may now blot the eyes of those I have long called my friends.
Hast thou any plea to thy neighbours who are afraid?
I plead that they look to charity and reason, and not to immediate fear. Let them remember the works I have done among them. If the Lord be pleased, the truth shall be seen. But I pray for all, that we be not led by terror, and that the magistrates seek both justice and mercy.
Do you fear the outcome?
I fear for the village more than for myself. I fear that temper and suspicion may cause harm to the innocent, and that trust between neighbor and neighbor shall be sundered. I commit my case to the Lord, and to whatever due process our elders shall see fit.
Thank you for your time. You heard it live from Rebecca Nurse, whose words stir through a village torn by fear and suspicion. The town remains divided, and unease lingers. I now return the report to Master Gideon Parks in the studio.
What we witness in Salem is more than accusations. It is the unraveling of confidence among neighbors. Several pressures press upon this village: the fear of the devil, recent hardships of sickness and scarcity, and the long shadow of danger along our frontier with those who oppose our settlements. Such conditions make a people quick to suspect and slow to forgive. From our vantage, 3 matters bear watching. First, the nature of proof. How shall the courts weigh spectral claims against testimony and character? Second, the social effects. As suspicion spreads, family ties and communal bonds may falter. Third, the role of clergy and magistrates. Their guidance and restraint will shape whether reason or panic carries the day. Some among you may ask whether any means exist to halt these proceedings or to bring calm counsel. For that answer, the course of the magistrates and the words of our ministers shall be decisive. In time, the village must choose whether to let fear govern or to seek measured inquiry and charity. We shall remain on watch and bring further word as events in Salem village develop. In these trying hours, we urge our listeners to hold fast to reason, to charity, and to prayer. Let not hasty rumor rule where calm judgment must lead. I am Gideon Parks, with the Salem Chronicle for Massachusetts Bay Broadcasting. God keep and guide us all.